How can educators help students build communication and collaboration skills or promote critical thinking and problem solving in the classroom? One learning theory has the answer: Constructivism. Constructivism is a learning theory that equates learning with creative meaning from experience. This theory suggests that learning is more meaningful to students when they are able to interact with a problem or concept. There are 9 principles of constructivism, but we're going to show you the top 5. The first principle is posing problems of emerging relevance to students, meaning adjust your lessons to fit students' cultural and ethnic backgrounds. For example, allowing students to read books that highlight cultural differences teaches students to celebrate their differences instead of criticizing them. The second principle is structuring learning around big ideas. In a traditionalist classroom, the curriculum is presented part to whole with emphasis on basic skills. In a constructivist classroom, the curriculum is presented whole to part with an emphasis on the big concept. This way, the students are urged to actively be involved in their own process of learning. The teacher functions more as a facilitator who coaches, meditates, prompts, and helps students develop and assess their learning and their understanding. The third principle is seek and value students' point of view. In a traditionalist classroom, teacher seeks the correct answer to validate student learning. In a constructivist classroom, teacher seeks the student's point of view in order to understand students' present conceptions for use in subsequent lessons. The principle allows for access to students' reasoning and thinking process, which in turn allows teachers to further challenge students in order to make learning meaningful. To accomplish this, however, the teacher must be willing to listen to students and to provide opportunities for this to occur. The fourth principle is adapting curriculum to address students' suppositions. We must address students' beliefs, otherwise they will disregard the lesson as unimportant. Suppositions are the students' assumptions or beliefs about what is true. By questioning and establishing relevance, educators can get students engaged, which leads to understanding. A child's errors are natural steps to understanding, so it's important to not impose adult expectations on a child's thought process. The fifth principle is assessing students' learning in the concept of learning. Students learn as they learn. Learning consists both of constructing meaning and constructing systems of meaning. For example, if we learn the chronologically series of dates, we are simultaneously learning the meaning of chronology. Each meaning we construct makes us better able to give meaning to other situations that fit a similar pattern. That was a lot of information, so let's break all that down into a classroom example. Let's say you wanted to read Lola Plants a Garden by Anne McQueen, and your learning objective is to introduce meaning in books. A traditional classroom teacher would read the poem to a group or have the students round robin. Then she would ask learners what the poem means. There will be a right answer. The book is about Lola learning how hard it is to be patient when gardening. A constructivist teacher would read the book and stop and share her own thinking aloud. Reading this part about hard dirt reminds me of trying to plant bulbs last year. I couldn't dig very deep because the ground was frozen. The teacher shows how reading poetry connects to her prior knowledge and makes her visualize. She then will ask them to read the poem and practice making connections to their own prior knowledge. Then she'll have them partner share, which means students gather together and share their opinions. In doing this, the teacher is allowing her students to activate their own prior knowledge and helping her students relate to the book, which leads back to the learning objective. When using the constructivism principles, a teacher allows their students to be more actively involved in their learning by engaging in problem-solving, higher-order thinking, and collaborative work. These exercises and classroom applications of constructivism will allow students to develop the skills and confidence to analyze the world around them. This is a very, very important thing. Create solutions or support for developing issues and then justify their words and actions while encouraging those around them to do the same and respect the differences in opinions for the contributions that can make to a whole of the situation. So in conclusion, you should be a constructivist in the classroom. Thanks. We're excited.